All right, everybody. I can see all of your names. Oh, there I can see Melanie, but I can't see anybody else. There, I'm starting to see y'all. If you scroll down to your bottom left corner, start video, you'll see like a little video camera, and you can click start video so we can see each other. I'm going to let a few people hop on, and then I'm going to start recording. Actually, it may already be recording. Yeah, it's already recording. Marianne, if you want us to see you, some people don't want you. Like, I've been at the pool all day, so I'm kind of gross. But if you want us to see you, scroll down to the bottom left corner. You'll see like a microphone and then a video with a red X through it, and you can click start video. All right, I'm going to give it just a couple more minutes for people to jump on. If y'all are already on, if you'll go ahead and scroll down to the bottom left and click mute. It looks like most of y'all are muted out. So everybody mute out, and at the end, I'll have us get back on with each other. Okay, I'm going to start recording, and y'all may see people kind of jump on as we go. Kristen, I can see your name. If you scroll down to the bottom left corner, you'll see like a little video camera that you can click start video. And then we should be able to see you. All right, I think everybody's still muted out. Okay, we're already recording, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start. For the record, this is session 1 of the Elevate training series, which is called Inviting Language. So Sunday night, June 11th, 9 o'clock, Elevate session 1, Inviting Language. All right, so I wanna just start quick and say, why do we need to learn inviting language? Like anytime you see a training series, you'll see over and over inviting language, and that's important. And so why is that important? Well, if you think about our business, it's crazy relational. It's people talking to people all the time, people building relationships with people. And so we want to learn this inviting language because we're constantly inviting to something. We're either inviting them to try a sample, or we're inviting them to come to an event, or we're inviting them to hear more about the business, or we may be inviting them to take our solution tool. So there's like a ton of different ways that we can invite someone to sort of engage in this business. Now, relational language comes super natural for some people. Like some people are just really easy at talking and having relationships, and other people it's really hard and you have to kind of practice. And so my suggestion for that is that can be learned. That's something that you can learn. It's something that I rehearse with Bella all the time, teaching her how when someone asks you a question, you answer and then you nicely ask a question back. So just like basic skills like that can be learned if we practice it over and over. So the main thing we're going to be talking about tonight is reach out. So how we reach out. There's one person that's not muted. Kristen, it may be you. Hang on, I think I can mute you. Okay. So the most important thing when you're starting to reach out to people, which is a chunk of what our business is how you're going to reach out. How are you going to act when you reach out? And so I have 2 silly videos that my movie stars just made for you guys. And so I want to show you each one, and then we're going to kind of come back and discuss them. All right, so I'm going to share my screen with y'all to show you these videos.
I'm coming. It's my time. Oh, I can really deal with the sweat. Oh, can you stop me? Oh, I don't know what to do. Brush. What's going on? I've never done this, so.
Okay, that's the first video. You saw how the hairdresser's acting. I'm going to show you the second video.
trust me. Let's get started. Great. Your hair looks beautiful already.
Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get back to y'all without y'all seeing my screen constantly. Okay, so we just saw 2 videos. Yes, I know they're hilarious, but think about when you walk into the salon. If you walk in and the chick's like, I mean, I've never done this before, but you know what? My salon's brand new. Let's give this a shot. We'll just give it a try. Okay, I mean, what the heck? Like, are you going to feel great about sitting down in her chair? Heck no. Second example. Welcome to my salon. Come on. I'm the best in the South. I can make your hair look awesome. Tell me what you want. Let's get started. There's like 2 just drastic differences there in just the way that the girl's presenting herself and the confidence level. And so that's the same with you. If you're talking to someone and you're like, I mean, I'm kind of brand new at this. I'm not really sure what I'm doing. It may work. It may not. I'm just going to give it a little shot. I mean, are you going to trust somebody and join somebody in business like that? No. You want somebody that's like, oh my gosh, I have found the best opportunity. I can't not tell you about it. I've got to tell you about it. I'm seeing women's lives changed every day. I'm seeing moms get to stay home with their babies. I'm seeing people getting to retire from their jobs early. I mean, you want to act like you love this and you're passionate about it and you know that it works for people to be able in order to trust you. Okay. So the very first step to reach out language is to be confident, to speak with confidence. If you're not confident in this business yet, if you're brand new and you have no idea if it's going to work for you, you just fake it until you make it. You act like you know what you're talking about. If you don't have a personal story to tell yet, that you don't feel like you have a success story, or you can say, I've made X amount of dollars, tell someone else's story. That's all I did my first year, was tell Liz Duggar's story and Becky Crenshaw's story until I had my own story to be able to tell. And that's okay. Learn the stories of the people around you and tell their stories. Okay. All right. So there's one other quick example I want to give you before I get in. I want to give you guys tons of language tonight. So I want you to feel equipped to start reaching out. But one other example I want to give you, I actually heard this on the Daily Experience page the other day. And there was this high-rise apartment building that was going in downtown Chicago, okay? All these like super expensive high-rise condos. And there were several realtors that were trying to sell these brand new condos. Well, it was right when the market plummeted and nobody could sell anything. But there was this one guy who was like, every week he was closing on a new condo in the same location, the same building that they were all showing these over and over. But this guy was like banging them out and selling them nonstop. And so someone asked him, like, what in the world are you doing? Like, what are you selling? And he's like, well, I'm not selling condos. Y'all are trying to sell condos. He's like, no. He's like, well, to Mr. Smith, he's like, I sold him a gym membership. His favorite gym is 2 doors down from this condo building. And he wanted to be able to commit to bettering himself and getting himself in the gym. And I sold the condo to him, telling him how this was going to be so easy to walk next door to the gym. And then to Sally, I sold her the best location for shopping and the best restaurants in Chicago. Her husband travels here every week for business, and she wanted to start coming with him and bringing girlfriends. And so I told her, oh my gosh, the best restaurant is right here. You're 1 minute from the Magnificent Mile. So he sold her shopping and restaurants. To another guy, he sold him a parking spot because the condo came with a parking spot, and his new executive job was 2-minute walk from this condo. So he was like, I'm not selling condos. He's like, I'm selling something different to every single person. And that was like, oh my gosh, that's what we're doing. You can't sell the same thing to the million different people over and over. You've got to find out what do they need, and you sell them what they need. That may change your story. The way that I talk to a single mom who is living on her last penny every month and trying to take care of her children and working full time is going to be totally different than I talk to a college girl and tell her how the business is going to benefit her. I'm not going to change my story. My story is the same, but I'm going to highlight different points. Okay. So just keep that in mind as you're starting to reach out to these people. Is you don't have to know them. They don't have to be your best friends, but you've got to know something about them. You've got to know how you're going to sell what you're selling to them. All right. Okay, so there are 5 key components when you do a reach out, and y'all can jot these down, but I'm also, when we get done, I'm gonna post a picture that says exactly what I'm gonna say. But no matter what you're reaching out, and we're gonna go through several different scenarios, but no matter who you're reaching out to or what your reach out's gonna be like, you want to hit these 5 key components, okay? So the first one is name, N-A-M-E, name. You want to use their name in the greeting. No hey girl or hi friend or what's up sister. Use their name. Anytime I get a message that's like hi Molly, that's so much more personal. So number 1, name. Number 2, compliment. Give them a very genuine compliment that lets them know that you know something about them, so that they can see that this is not just a cut and copy paste message, that you're not sending, because I get those all from people that are new in marketing, and it's like, you just sent that message to 10 different people. Like, nothing about it was genuine or personal, okay? So give them some sort of genuine compliment or comment on something that's going on in their life. Number 3, why. Tell them why you thought of them. Why are you reaching out to them, and why you thought of them for this specific reach out. Number 4, offer. You want to tell them what Rodan & Fields has to offer for them. This is where the realtor comes into play. So what it has to offer a college girl is different than what it has to offer a 65-year-old empty nester, okay? And last, number 5 is question. You want to end with a question. Any kind of reach out that ends with a question and doesn't sign off love Molly or whatever, but it ends with a question is much more likely to get a response. All right, so now we're going to talk through 3 different types of reach outs. So as you make your list, when you're starting to make your list, if you're new in the business, one of the first things you'll hear us say is you need to make a list of 200 people. And that can feel so overwhelming and almost paralyzing. But if you simply went through your phone contacts, your Facebook contacts, your husbands, your brothers, you're going to have 200 in no time. I can't tell you how many times I've started to make a list of 200, and I never even finish the 200, because when I get into those reach outs, I start getting responses, and I can't ever get back to finishing the reach outs, okay? So anyways, as you make this list, you're going to think of things in 3 different categories. And it's the 3 C's, okay? So the first one is, could they be a consultant? Would they be interested in the business? So they're going to be a potential consultant. The second one is, are they a potential customer? Would they be interested in products? They may not be any interested in the business, but would they be interested in purchasing or trying your product? And the third is a connector. So is it someone that you could reach out to and say, hey, here's what I'm doing. Can you connect me with anyone that you think may be interested or needs this opportunity? All right, so we're going to go through 3 different examples using those 5 steps. 3 different examples. And the very first one is going to be how I reach out about the business. And of course, I change this for every individual person. So I'm going to share my screen again, and I just want y'all to be able to read along. I emailed myself these earlier. And be looking, as we read through them, be looking for those 5 things that I used. Sorry, I know some of this stuff you can see a whole lot of. Okay, so this is my business reach out here. Hi, Ashley. Congrats on your new baby boy. Gosh, he is just precious. I hope you are loving being his mommy. I know everyone says this, but cherish this time. It goes so fast. I'm writing to ask you if you've ever heard about the Rodan & Fields business opportunity. I thought of you because I was talking to a girl on my team who is also a teacher. She was telling me what a great fit RF is for her because the work schedule is so flexible and she can still earn an income throughout the summer. In fact, she was just able to retire because her RF income has surpassed her teaching income. She's so excited to be able to stay home with her kids now. Is this anything that you'd like to hear more about? All right, so let's go through our 5 things. Name, hi Ashley. I used her specific name. Compliment, talked about her baby boy, he's precious, some kind of mommy advice, okay? Number 3, why? Why did I think of her? Well, I thought of her because she was a teacher, and I have a teacher on my team that just retired the other day, okay? So I'm going to tell her the story about the teacher. And what the teacher said leads into what RNF has to offer for her, which is complete schedule flexibility and that she can still earn money throughout the summer, and perhaps she could even retire when her income surpassed that teaching income. And she'll be able to stay home with her kids. And then number 5 is the question. End with a question. Is this anything that you'd like to hear more about? Because it's very simple for them to jump on and answer, no thanks, my hands are full, or yeah, tell me more. So that's our business reach out. And I will snapshot these and put them on our page later. So don't feel like you have to like scribble as fast as you can. All right, now this is a product reach out. Hi, Sally. I see that y'all just got home from an amazing family vacation. What sweet memories for your kids. I was thinking about you the other day because I saw you in a picture with a bunch of mutual friends. I'm sure with all of our mutual friends that you've heard of Rodan & Fields, but have you ever tried any of our amazing products? Can I send you a sample? Okay, so again, her name. Compliment that she just gave her kids a vacation with sweet memories. Why I thought of her. What Rodan & Fields has to offer is amazing products, and ending with the question. Okay. Last one is a reach out about a connection. So how do you do this? How do you reach out about a connection? I tend to do this to lots of guys because I naturally assume that women are going to want to do this business, but sometimes guys are harder. And so I'm trying to reach out about their wife or asking them to help me connect. All right. Hi, Jim. Thanks for always including me in your ministry update emails. I love hearing what's going on with you. I'm writing to ask a small favor. I thought of you because you are in relationships with so many young couples. I started a personal business with RF, which obviously I would spell that out and explain it a little bit, about 3 years ago. It's been the biggest surprise blessing. The additional income with a totally flexible schedule makes it a perfect fit for busy moms. My team is growing rapidly, and I'm loving mentoring these ladies towards financial freedom. If you ever come across someone that could use an opportunity like this, would you send them my way? All right, so y'all are seeing the pattern here. Use the name. We gave a compliment about thanks for telling me about your emails and what's going on with you. What Rodan & Fields has to offer, flexible income, schedule it fits perfect for moms, and then asking a question. Okay, so I'll screenshot these and add these later for you guys to see. So basically, you can take what I just told you, those 5 points, and you can plug them into any kind of reach out. And just make it you, because the person's going to hear when you're typing this out and reaching out to them, the person's going to hear if that's genuinely your language or not. I mean, they know. So use it as if you're talking to the person, okay? And never prejudge how they'll answer. It never fails that I'll reach out to someone and think like, oh my God, they are never going to be interested in the business. I'll reach out to them about the product and they come back like, actually, I'd really like to hear more about the business. So you can always, be reaching out about a specific thing, but you may be surprised how they end up kind of coming back and answering you. Okay, so what we're going to do for this week, I'm going to go through and answer all the questions that you guys posted because that's a bunch of great information of further training. But I want to go ahead and talk about our homework first. So our homework for this week is we're going to practice those 3 types of reach outs using those 5 bullet points, okay? So I will post my picture that goes through the 5 bullet points again with these language, and then I just want throughout the week for you guys to start posting your example of how you reached out about the business, how you reached out about the product, and how you reached out about a connection. All right, and we'll do some kind of incentive or game about that. So I will post all that information later. All right, now I wanted to go through the questions that y'all posted because I thought it would be great for us to all hear and learn. So one I got says, how do you approach someone about the products without seeming like you're insulting their skin? Okay, I had this question right away. I thought this was such a great question. And I remember asking Liz Duggar this, and she was like, if you want them to hear about the products, you lead with the business, okay? If you really want them to hear about the business, then you lead with our amazing products. I think that's still true, but I think you can pretty much always lead with the business. So if you have somebody, let's say you have someone that has like terrible acne, you're dying to help them because you know that Unblemished can help them, reach out about the business because what they're going to hear is what they need. Everyone selfishly thinks as somebody is talking to them about what they actually need, okay? So lead with the business, and if the minute that you mention number 1 skincare, number 1 acne brand, they're going to hear the skincare products. Always list out the 4 regimens that we have, just so it's not like we have the best acne brand, you need it so bad, but list it out like, our most popular tends to be our Redefine for anti-aging, but we also sell a ton of our Soothe for sensitivity and our adult onset acne regimen or whatever, but list those out just so it doesn't look like we're singling out what skincare problem they have. And then sometimes when you have somebody that you really, I do this when I'm like super chicken, just being honest, but if I'm super chicken to reach out to someone about the business, or I really think that they need some product help, a lot of times I'll reach out to them and just pretend like I'm doing it as a referral. So I'll just say, hey, so-and-so, I wanted to let you know, go through our 5 things, but I wanted to let you know that I started my own business with Radine & Fields a few years ago. We are the #1 premium skincare company, and we offer products for several different reasons. Do you know of anybody that could use these products or this business opportunity? So you could end it like that, and that way they don't feel like you're singling them out at all. Really, you're trying to say like, hey, you need Unblemished. But you could, you can act like, do you know of anybody that needs this? Just play dumb like you have no clue that they want, All right, y'all get my point. Second question. I had a table in an event the other night, and a lot of the people were already using the products, and they didn't want to cheat on their consultant. I felt like this was a dead end. Any advice on how to handle this better? Honestly, I do not have great advice here, but I wanted y'all to hear my answer. You never, ever, and I'm not saying this person did at all, but you never, ever want to try to poach someone's customer or potential consultant, okay? So if they are already in a relationship with a Radine & Fields customer, which our team is like super sweet and impressive that way in general. Dimitri and I overlap. I can't even tell y'all how much we overlap with our circle of friends. And a lot of times we're texting each other like, hey, have you reached out to her yet? Or is she already your customer, or vice versa? So I don't expect that this would ever be an issue, but just for future reference, you never want to try to poach somebody else's customer or potential consultant if somebody's already been talking to them about the business. So we hear stories all the time of other teams that do not stay true to this, and it's really sad. Like, people will send their potential consultants to a meeting, let's say in New York or something, and then the consultants in New York will try to talk to them and say, oh, it's so much better if you join with a local team, we'll take better care of you, or we'll give you $100 back on your kit, or just anything like that. Like, our team, we train each other to stay above the bar and to just always treat people with the respect that you would want treated. So if you had a customer, you would never want somebody at another event to take that customer away. As far as what advice do I have for that situation? Oh, it's so frustrating, and it feels so like you're definitely at a dead end. But my advice would be, take that opportunity to learn. And so if these people are standing around your table and talking about how great the products are, ask them some questions like, well, what's your favorite product? Tell me what you liked about it. What's a product you've tried that you haven't liked? Just because that feedback may be a great arsenal of information that you need later. If someone says, well, I tried the Soothe regimen with the PM Redefine cream and it broke me out, but the minute I stopped the Redefine cream, it was better. Okay, store that away, because you may have a customer later that says that. And a lot of times I'll even say, like, what would be something you would love to see on a flash sale? Since you're already a customer, let me just pick your brain for a minute. What would be something that you'd love to see on a flash sale? Would you want to see eye cream on flash sale more often, or the lash boost, or whatever? So just try to use that opportunity as a learning, but know that you're probably not getting a sale out of it. All right, next question. How to get the conversation going after you get the response, yes, I've heard of these products. And my response to this would be, continue the conversation. So if they respond, yes, I've heard of them, then keep that conversation going. My next questions would be like, have you ever taken my solution tool? Can I send you that? Or can I mail you a sample? What have you tried? Would you like pricing on the products that are right for you? So anytime someone takes the time to respond to you, to me, it feels like they're somewhat still open to conversation. So my advice is continue the conversation there. Next question. How do I get a person that's very interested in the products but has a very tight budget to purchase the products? So I have 2 pieces of advice here. Sometimes those are the best people for turning them into consultants, because they need money. They're already telling you that their budget's tight. And so sometimes I'll say, well, you know what? The cheapest way to buy is as a consultant. Can I tell you more about the business? We get our products really deeply discounted, and that may be the best way for you to purchase your products. Or the other way that I'll do it, if they're not interested in that at all, is try and help them find 1 or 2 things that they could use that they'll fall in love with. So a couple of our like all-time favorite things that will last a long time, because you want them to fall in love with the product, and you want them to see that our products last more than 2 weeks. Okay, so some examples of that is like the eye cream. I mean, that thing lasts me 6 to 9 months easily. And it's something that they'll see quick results with, and that it's easy to use, it's easy to remember to use. Same thing with the micro paste. Anybody that uses the microdermabrasion paste, I mean, I used it tonight before my shower. Like, your skin feels insane, crazy soft. And that huge tub of it is going to last easily 6 months. So try to pick something that will last them a long time that you know that they'll fall in love with, okay? And then, the way to try to determine that can just be by saying, like, hey, what is your biggest concern? What's something that you think you could start by saying, what is your budget? What could you spend this month? Or what could you spend if it lasted you 6 months? And that way you can help you kind of tease out some things. And then the hope there is that they use it, they see how long it lasts, and they feel a little bit safer about spending money and going into a full regimen or whatever. All right, another question. What's an appropriate turnaround time to follow up with someone that's thinking about it or just can't do it right now? And my response to this would be, ask them when you can follow up with them. Okay, so, as they give you that response and you're in conversation with them, just say, okay, I'm so glad that you're going to continue to think this over. When should I check back with you? Is next week okay? Or I'll say, okay, great. I'm going to touch base again with you next week, because they've asked for more time, but they didn't tell you how much time. So you can say, I'm going to touch base with you next week. And if you have any questions in the meantime, why don't you shoot them to me? And then for the part about why they just can't do it right now, then just keep asking questions, because sometimes what's in their brain about the biggest obstacle or what's holding them back is super simple for you to put to rest. So it may be like, I don't know how to use the computer. I'm technologically challenged. Okay, so put that fear to rest and say, oh my gosh, I will sit down and help you. I will hold your hand with learning how to use Zoom or whatever. So find out what it is, why they're saying no. Try to say, what's holding you back? What's your biggest concern right now? Because I'd love to just address what your biggest concern is. If that way there's no secrets and you're not trying to guess at like what to say. All right, next question. Give me some ideas to perk someone's interest who seems completely disinterested in ever trying Rodan & Fields. And I have 2 ideas here. Offer a sample. If they're disinterested in trying it, ask if you can send them a sample. And then another thing that a girl on our team does a lot that I think is great is that she'll purchase them something that's inexpensive. And ask them if they'll try it for a while, would they write a review? And so a lot of times she'll do that with a mini facial. She'll say, hey, if I send you a free mini facial, throw the word free in there. They don't know that we don't charge for that. But if I send you a free mini facial, would you try it for 2 nights and then write me a review? I've actually done that with a lash boost right now on this girl that I'm like, she is a dream team chick that I want on my team so bad. And the way I brought it up to her, she talked about my lashes. And so we started talking, and so I finally said to her, okay, I'm going to make you a deal. I will buy you a lash boost. If you like it, you promise me a conversation this summer about the business. And so that's where we left it currently. She's using Lash Boost. She keeps texting me that she loves it. And so she promised me a conversation out of it. Of course, you don't ever have to do anything that expensive, but that's how important this girl is to me. Last question, and then I'll let you guys ask any if y'all have any. What's a good way to respond when someone says that they don't have time for the business? And the first thing that you want to do when someone gives you some sort of resistance, and we'll address this another week too, but you want to validate how they're feeling. So if they're saying like, my plates are full, I just can't think about one more thing right now, validate that. So repeat back to them, oh man, I cannot even imagine how stressed out you are right now, taking care of this and doing this and your kids' sports or whatever. So validate how they're feeling, that they are stressed out. But follow it up with, what we have found about this business is that the busiest people are actually the most successful. And this business, it was designed for the busiest people. So it's not designed for somebody that has time to sit down for 3 hours a day and work at their computer. It's designed for someone who's on the ball field and who's in car line and who has 5 minutes while their kid is changing into their gymnastics leotard. That's how this business is designed, is for you to be able to do it in really small bite-sized chunks throughout your day. And that's how we all work our business. That's how we've kind of built our businesses. So validate them first, but then help them paint a picture of what a daily life looks like for a busy mom, or whatever their objection was. Okay. All right. I'm going to let you guys, if anybody has questions, if you want to unmute, and then once we hang up, just for the record, I will post the picture of those 5 components of a reach out. And then how we're going to kind of run a little like homework thing this week. Anybody feel like unmuting and asking any questions?
Hey, Molly, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be brave and I'll ask the first
one. Go for it.
So I am having a hard time with just getting or keeping a conversation going after the price point. So like we're talking to people about Lash Boost right now because my lashes are phenomenal. And I had 11 people reach out to me in 2 days about how much they loved my lashes and how much they wanted that. Some people were talking about how they used extensions. And we just went through the whole thing about how, you know, a tube can last up to 4 months and how they're natural and they're longer looking and fuller looking and darker looking and I don't have to wear mascara. And then we get to that point about price and we tell them the price and we break it down. And then it's like, okay, well, I have to think about it. And then when I follow back up with them, you know, 4 or 5, 6 days later, there's nothing.
Okay, so my favorite trick for this, you've done everything right. It's exactly what I would do. So typically I'll break down the price and I'll say, you know, this one tube lasts you 4 to 5 months. So really you're looking at, what is that, $30 a month for this price point. And, you know, I think, and sometimes I'll even name, you know, like I've heard extensions, the maintenance is $100 every 3 weeks, like name prices of some other things so that they'll see our price point is way below. And a lot of times I'll even say, I've heard Latisse is $100 for 1 month. Ours is $135, but that's a 4 to 5 month supply. So kind of help them break down the price, which is what you've already done. And then if they and one thing to all stress is 60-day money back. And I'll always just kind of say, what do you have to lose? I mean, you have nothing to lose. You try it and you get amazing lashes and you love it, or you don't and you get your full money back. Like you have nothing to lose. But if they've gone silent on you, my favorite trick for this is either to suddenly run a special, like so you can recontact them again and say, oh my gosh, my team, I mean, blame it on your team, blame it on your upline, whatever. My team is running a special. We're offering $20 back on all Lash Boosts for the next 2 days. And you want to give them a deadline. So like this special is just good for the next 2 days. Or my favorite line is to just say, I'm sitting down to put orders in right now. I'd love for you to be able to start your Lash Boost this month. Can I put your order in? And you would be amazed how many people I have coached through just that simple language. Like I'll sit down with them and I'll say, okay, everybody that you've got ongoing conversations with, we're going to text right now. And we're going to say, hey, I'm sitting down to put orders in. Can I go ahead and add yours? Y'all, that worked for me on the 31st, May 31st, for 3 customers last month because I got to my mileage where I was doing Lead the Way, which we will talk about later. And I needed 3 orders. And I texted people that were in the middle of conversations. They're like, oh, yeah, I've been meaning to whatever. So those are my 2 tricks, to suddenly run a special that you didn't know was coming, or to just say, I'm putting orders in. I'd love to get you started.
Okay.
Anybody else? Questions? All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording on this, and I will post the replay later. And just check the page later tonight because I'm going to post, or maybe in the morning, kind of that language and what our incentive is. Good night, everybody.